Hello, it's Laird Joe. Hope you're having a beautiful evening. Come on in, we're going to do some collective reads. Let's start with tarot first. Alright, we'll take those. Alright, King of Cups, Six of Wands, the World. So something to do with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, potentially, or emotions. We're closing out chapters and we're going to have victory over what it is that has been withholding us back and keeping us out of that grounded emotional energy of King of Cups. And that could be you or someone you're dealing with. So beautiful energy. Eight of Swords. Whatever this is, you've been up in your head about it. You've been stuck, stagnant, like trying to figure out which way to move forward. So getting out of that mental loop and deciding, I'm going to be victorious over what it is that's been holding me back. Okay? It will not get the best of me. And then Ten of Cups. Your happiness is on the other side of that hard decision. When you finally decide to do that thing and close the chapter, your happiness is on the other side of that door, right? You ever think about all those situations where you were having a hard time and you did the thing anyway and it actually turned out okay or better than you thought it would? Okay, well that was a lot of energy. We'll see what we get with that. Alright. Ace of Swords in reverse. So we've been holding back from making the decision that we know is logical, that we know we need to do that's necessary. It's like when you have that friend, right? Like say if you're trying to give a friend a chance and you're like, okay, I'm going to let them do this thing. But instead of helping you, they actually make it worse. They actually cost you big things. So having to make that decision like, hey, I can't include you in everything. Nine of Wands, putting down the burdens of everyone else and saying, you know what, I can't keep carrying these burdens on my back. It's too much weight. King of Wands, dealing with someone who's fiery, passionate, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yet, is he truly helping you in your mission? Is he helping elevate you? Or is he keeping you stuck and stagnant for only his benefit? Okay, so making that decision, saying, you know what, I can't keep doing this. Again, with Ten of Cups coming out, so Ten of Cups, hey, Gabby girl. Ten of Cups is saying our happiness is on the other side of putting down those burdens that we don't want to let go of. Okay? Eight of Swords, we've been stuck in our head. We always do like but they're my fill in the blank. Eight of Swords, we don't want to let go of relationships because we want to say, oh, well, they're this relation. No, get out of your head. If that was anyone else other than your aunt, your uncle, your mom, you wouldn't put up with that behavior. Or you would tell your best friend, like, don't put up with that behavior. So when you're in your head about things, what advice would you give your best friend? Right? If someone was in their life and they were doing something, you're like, that was my best friend. I would tell her, you know, she needs to get out of there. So realizing we can't carry everyone else's burdens. We also give advice to others like we wish someone else would have given us. Or we give advice to others in the ways that we were guided on our path. So when we give advice to our best friends, like we don't listen to it, but that's like the advice that we wish someone had given us if they were in our shoes. So we need to listen to that. Okay, King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So it's popping out. And we have King of Wands, we have King of Cups. So it's dealing with that fiery and passionate and also that man that's also maybe in the emotions and deciding what is yours to carry and what you need to start giving to other people to handle, right? We need to start telling the men, like, that is your emotional cup that you need to fill. We can talk about your big emotions, but that's something that you need to work through. We can't be doing the work for them emotionally, okay? They need to use their big boy words and talk about what is bothering them. We can't do it for them. And we also can't carry the burdens that we don't know about until they're willing to share what they've been going through. Okay. The world, closing out those chapters and saying, okay, maybe the way that we approached this the first time didn't work. Maybe it's time we try a new approach. Okay. Six of Wands, being brave and courageous. Finally letting go. Six of Wands is that victory. We say, okay, we conquered this. We did this together. It was teamwork. All right. And Eight of Wands, receiving messages. All right. So you gotta get out of your head. You have to make that logical yet tough decision. Because it first came out with Ace of Swords in reverse. So it's like Ace of Swords is always like, we know the answer we have to make and we make it willingly. Coming out in reverse, it's like we know it's the answer we need to make, but we actually do have to do it and not feel bad about it. Okay? Start cutting people out of your life and or delegating. Again, like, okay, I need you to either step up and help me with this, or I need to move on without you. Okay? Stop feeling guilty. Stop feeling guilty about doing what's best for you. Please. So, Anika, if you're still in, we're doing collective energy reads. But as far as traveling, like, stop feeling guilty if it's the best decision for you and it would make you happy. Okay. Stop feeling like you need to be responsible for other people's emotions, especially if you have to guess what their emotion is. Like, nothing's worse than someone being mad, but they won't actually tell you what they're mad about. And you're like, well, now I have to guess. No, it's not your job to contort yourself into other people's comfort spaces because it's uncomfortable to you. All right. Eight of Coins. So, Eight of Coins, you've been, like, working and working and working and working and never seen the difference. Eight of Coins is like you've been toiling away, yet you don't see the gains yet. So I need you to pause and breathe. Because this is when you, okay, especially as women, I speak from the woman's point of view. It's like we get so caught in that hustle and grind, and we forget to actually appreciate what we've been hustling and grinding for. Like, if you're constantly working, yet you don't take a moment to have fun, do your nails, breathe, whatever, what are you working so hard for? It's like you get in that burnout because it's like, oh, when I have this next goal, I can rest. No, you need to rest now. You need to recognize where you are now versus where you were 2 days ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, because you're not that person, and you need to stop overextending yourself and actually just take that moment and breathe and pause, because you've put in a lot of work, okay? You've made it through really big, scary things. So you've done the work. This is that moment, okay, you know, like when we're planting seeds, right? And we're waiting, we water it, we wait for it to actually break from the ground. So this is that part in our growth. It's like we've done all the work, we've watered the seeds, we're waiting for it to grow. And then when we actually, like Nine of Pentacles, it's like there we're actually seeing the fruits of our labors. So this is that in-between phase where you've done the work and all you can do is just pause and let it play out. Okay? Also, when you're planting, you wouldn't plant all those seeds and then dig it up 2 hours later to see if anything grew. That's also with the adventures that we're making in love and finances. You have to wait to see how it actually blooms. Like, don't be impatient with it because it is a process. Like, when we plant roses, we don't just, ready the ground, plant it, and then dig it up to see if our rosebud's there. No, you have to understand it needs that time to actually nurture and grow and push through. All right. Hello, how are you? I'm Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover, talking about life, wisdom, relationships. Page of Coins. We've been dealing in that mindset of financial success isn't ours. It's not successful for us. Get out of that mindset that you don't deserve to have happiness. I'm doing a collective energy read. So if you come in and you resonate with the energy, then maybe there's a message for you. If you don't, then yeah. Do you have what type of live requests do you have? Sometimes I answer, sometimes I don't. Sometimes we figure out how it sits with the cards. So Page of Pentacles, we've been in that mindset, and we've been dealing with people with that mindset. And I'm going to say that this is the challenge. Like, I'm a millennial kid. It's hard to have that mindset of there's going to be anything left for us when it's time to sit down and have fun. Right? It's always that castle that we want is never going to be ours, so why keep fighting? But realizing, though, every day, every step is success, whether you realize it or not. Every day you put in a little more work towards whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is that you love. And even resting gives you a chance to have success, because you integrate what it is that you've been working so hard on when you rest, because you can appreciate, oh, I worked really hard. Or I love the mindset shift. Like when you have an interaction that normally would have set you back emotionally, and then it comes up again and you realize you're like, oh, I'm not quite so upset about it. Having those mindset shifts and being able to recognize progress is a really big deal. So, hello, Markman. How are you? I'm Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover. All right. All right. So what we don't see at the bottom is I'm doing collective reads, Mark. So just talking about life, talking about the energy that comes out, life advice, all that jazz. Okay, so we had 8 of Pentacles, we have Page of Pentacles. And what this is, we've been kept in that disempowered, like that childlike energy intentionally by people that controlled the strings. So with King of Pentacles, this is the boss, right? And he wanted to keep us in that feeling of like we had to keep coming back to them in order to gain financial success. Because we have the Lovers, so this is Gemini energy. 4 of Swords, this is betrayal by people that are the closest to us. Queen of Cups and Ace of Coins sideways. It's like we had this energetic presence, could potentially be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, or a masculine energy, or just that boss presence of trying to keep us stuck to their systems. So realizing that we do have to overcome that. We have to see where they were trying to keep us coming back, because we needed to. So hello Sarah, how are you? All right, 2 of Coins. We are bringing that into balance. We're bringing our finances into balance. We're like, okay. So this is also seen watching your family members, like the family members that are shady businessmen, like watching that and not getting trapped into the, oh, well, he's my uncle, like he wouldn't ever do me wrong. No, actually seeing those people that are intentionally trying to keep you dependent upon them financially and realizing what their game is and then moving accordingly. And you don't have to call them out. You just have to remove yourself and, go no contact, because you're going to be like, what else are they doing to try and keep me dependent upon their goodwill and good grace? So 2 of Coins is finding the stability within whatever path you take, regardless of who comes with you. Let's see what else, if anything else here. Man, how's everybody's week going? It's hump day. It doesn't, this week, well, it's Memorial Day week, so it feels like this whole week is just completely off kilter. Glad it's going good. And summer break always, whenever my kids go on break, even though my kids aren't home, right? I still have like the same rhythms with them. So like when they go on summer break, I feel like I'm on summer break in a lot of ways, like the late nights, the early mornings. When they're in school, I also go with their rhythm. And like, this is so annoying because, you know, it feels like summer break with the kids because energetically they're on summer break. So, yeah, I don't know. Hello. How are you? So, Evelyn, what I'm seeing, 6 of coins, balancing the finances. We also had 2 of coins. So it feels like in order to align that, you need to be making sure that your finances are balanced. Like you're not putting yourself in detriment to see Ian. Right. 3 of wands, 4 of wands, 3 of coins, 4 of cups, the Empress. Okay. Let's talk about that. That's absolutely bizarre how that came out. Okay, so 3 of wands, 4 of wands. We are building towards our happiness. We're like, you know what? I'm following my passions. And I realize it's a narrow ladder, and that means that only I can do it, but I'm willing to make the climb for what I want. With 4 of wands, that's union, that's happiness, that's finding our home where we feel safe. That's that part of it. So 4 of wands is where we feel safe. Not where our mama feels safe, where we feel safe. Where we feel safe to be feminine, where we feel safe to be soft, where we can nurture ourselves, we can nurture our family. Because I'm going to tell you, happiness is way more powerful than anger. Like, my happiness, like, think of Monsters Inc. as well, right? They were originally trying to scare kids because they were energy harvesting, but then they realized when they actually made them laugh, it was way more potent and powerful. So this is finding that happiness, that stability for yourself, regardless of what anyone else thinks or is saying or doing. So again, making the climb, even if you know it's solo, so that you can find what your happiness looks like. Okay. 3 of coins, you have been stuck in that disempowered, like that juggling. This feels almost like that tithe or that family obligation payment. Like, oh, instead of being able to build your own financial stability, it was like, oh, I'm feeding my dream and my mama's dream. Or my dream and my mother-in-law's dream. And realizing, no, I can't give to every situation. You know, I have to focus on what I'm doing. And this is going to come with 4 of cups. So where I love this little analogy, right? So 4 of cups is that you feel like you don't have enough to share. It's that hoarding, emotionally you weren't being satisfied. I've gotten really big on this. Hold on. People that love you won't mess with your money. Right. Like, so knowing that if they were messing with your money, that's emotionally just not a very copacetic thing. So those people that intentionally only called when you had money to spare, or they always had their hand out even when you were struggling, saying, you know what, that's not cool, because you know that if they were on the up and you were to call them, they would have changed their number. Empress, this is nurturing yourself, loving yourself. So Empress is number 3 as well. So we had a bunch of 3s and 4s coming out. So knowing that that's the Trinity, it's like this is past, present, future, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Mother, Maiden, Crone. I love it. And if you see it, like, she is so freaking beautiful on this one. This is why I love this deck, because it's a multicultural deck. not super multicultural enough on this side of it. And I love the Empress on this because it's Our Lady Guadalupe, I believe. I think she's gorgeous, so. And what better embodiment? That's like the Divine Mother, which is what the Empress is. She's the Divine Mother. So, yeah. The imagery, and that's also why I love tarot. Hey, Eating Bubbles. That's also why I love tarot, because there are so many different expressions and forms and ways to interpret and also to express. So, yeah. Yeah. I even have a freaking Star Trek tarot deck, so thank you. Eating Bubbles, any good news on which, my love? Gabby, it's been a really rough week. Like, energetically, I can feel a lot of things moving. There's a lot of downloads coming really fast and furious. And then there's a lot of storms rolling through. There's a lot going on. Like, okay, so yesterday I posted about how the weather was going to be bad. 3 twisters in our county yesterday afternoon. Like, close to me. So I'm like, yeah, that's how I'm doing. Twisters, flooding, emotions. My driveway is completely rerouted, so I don't know. I think, yeah, it's the whole, we're all kind of in this together, though, so, yeah. Eating Bubbles, I don't even know how to answer that, man. Oh, shit. Okay. That was a bunch. Let's see. 2 of Swords. Making the decision. Making the decision. 8 of Pentacles. Again, we've been working on our finances and realizing, okay, and this is the biggest part of it. There's a lot of things going on right now, and I had a long mentorship with someone today about this. Is that when something really big, scary, chaotic happens, right? Like, we get a tower. We're like, oh no, that thing happened and I don't know what to do. I'm always like, pause. Especially if you're very quick to act, you need to be pausing, because everything that's going on right now, energetically, everything that's going on politically, in every arena, they're wanting you to react out of chaos, fear, anger. So if you actually pause, right, and kind of take a step back and analyze for a minute, you're going to save yourself a lot. Yeah, you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache. So it's as things are starting to get crazier, they're getting scarier, they're getting more chaotic. It's like, and also with this, when you are trying to see, like, if you're trying to look in the bottom of a pan, if it's boiling, you can't see the bottom of the pan. So in order to be able to see clearly, you have to let it kind of settle down before you can actually see. So a lot of the last few days, with all of the chaos, with all the energy moving around, it's okay, how do we slow down? Like, how do you slow down even further than that? Because if you're feeling like you're stressed and pressed, why? Because what truly is urgent that makes you need to feel like you're super scared? Breathe, because then you can actually see clearly. You can feel calm about it. Okay? You can't control anything, but you can influence. So this is also why I like to talk about controlling your breathing. You can't control your blood pressure, but you can influence it by being able to calm your breath down. I love that. I love that. Yeah. And then, you know what? This is where it also gets challenging, because, like I say, the last few days, like, I've just felt so much pressure, and then realizing, like, what truly do I have to, what is so urgent? Like, slow down, and then slow down even more, because the world will not spin off its axis if you do not get up from your seat right this moment. You know, like, I'm glad you've been listening, Gabby. And then, like I say, I just want to remind you to slow down, even like notch that 10 more steps. Be like, you know what? I'm just gonna, it doesn't need to be done at warp speed. Like, whenever it gets done, it gets done. Also, what I love, okay, so let's talk about demon time versus divine time for a moment. Because demon time, like, we always think, like, oh, this showed up right on time, right? That's always where we feel it's, like, divine time. Because we're like, right when I need it the most, something came through, okay? Demon time is like, we needed it yesterday. So this is the challenge. When you are actually working and trusting the process, putting your faith in God, it will come through on divine time. And you'll feel like, oh, we're right at the nub. Well, demon time, it really does have an exposure. It's like the bills are due for them, right? They've got people that they have to feed. So demon time is like, no, I've got people to feed or something's going to happen to me. So knowing that sometimes the biggest flex or power is trusting that thing's going to work out for you right when it needs to. And if you're in a bind, like you really do have debts, well, then that's the things that we need to talk about. But there's a reason why we say demon time, because we've got mouths to feed today. Divine time is like, I waited for that cake to bake perfectly. I waited for the icing to cool. This was a beautiful experience because everything was done in the correct order, time, the way it was appropriately supposed to be done. So, I don't know. It's also just that slowing down and realizing, okay, life goes on. That's something that's been hitting the last few days. Like, even when big things happen in our life goes on, right? People have babies, people pass away, people get married, people get divorced. Life goes on every day. And that's kind of like that weird, solid rhythmic of breathing as well. And our pulse, it's like no matter rain or shine, the sun will still show up, the next day will still come. Like, we may have been a heartbreak for a minute, but it still keeps going on. And so do we. So... Thank you, Gabby. Thank you. It's been, okay, so I don't know how bad I've been all over the place, but it's been pretty straight. Some of that's been pretty straight, just channel. And I'm praying that everybody that needed the messages got the message, but... How have you been feeling energetically, Gabby? Good. And as well for me, but I've been one track minded on making sure that my joy, my peace, my happiness was the priority, which has been really freaking challenging because I'm like, I need answers, I need action, I need. And then also realizing, yeah, you know what? I need to be happy. I need to be joyous because tomorrow's not guaranteed. So we might as well enjoy this moment. Can we dance? Can we sing? Can we clap? Can we feel our big feelings? So, hey Cottage, how are you? Yes, so that's that part of it is that's why I say slow the fuck down. And if you have to, like, yeah. That's also where it's slow down and choose joy. Make the conscious, where you normally would have reacted when those chaotic things happen. Now you just say, oh, okay, well, that's a normal Tuesday. What else you got for me? Like, been there, done that. Have the t-shirt, keep going. And that's the challenge, because a lot of chaotic things also trying to derail the mindset. So where I'm trying to, I guess, energetically explain it is like, I feel like I've been hit by a lot of energetic towers. Like, I feel it hit. So this is kind of almost like that no weapon formed shall prosper. Is I feel those energetic towers probably within others' lives, and then I'm processing it through my system. So I'm like, I feel like I was hit by a bus or a train, but I'm okay. So that's also when I feel that energy coming, I drop back real hard and tap into self-love and realizing like, no, I gotta do what makes me happy, what makes me solid. Yeah. And that's also why I tell you guys so much though, is like, hey, breathe, rest, drink water, meditate. Like when that heavy energy hits, just be as gentle with yourself as you can be as like self-love talk. Like, so sometimes I have to yell at myself. Although I had this thought today, sometimes I even have to yell at God. I'm going to talk about yelling at God in a minute, but sometimes you talk stern with yourself, but we need to really be training that narrative too and saying, no, you know what, Gabby girl, that wasn't very loving. Let's do this for ourselves instead, because that actually shows that we care about our own feelings. So being nice to the woman in the mirror, right? You're learning, so be nice with yourself. Yeah. And where else are we gonna go with that? Yeah. Realizing you're worthy. Like, please realize you're so freaking worthy of the best life ever. So stop thinking that happiness is for someone else. Because you worked really hard to get to this seat at the table. So why do you think someone else should take your spot? You worked really freaking hard. So sit up there, eat that thing you love, do the thing you fought. So yeah. Okay. I'm going to talk about this in a second. Or I'm going to talk about this, I guess, as I'm shuffling. I do like a lot of things that I don't normally... Okay, so please don't spam the chat. I'm about to get into it, but I am chit-chatting while I'm shuffling. So bear with me. Kane, I see you. Don't come in here and be impatient. It's an energetic discussion, Ivan. Sometimes it's tarot, sometimes it's pure channel, sometimes it's ancestors coming through to chit-chat with you. I like to do a lot of things that I don't necessarily expect or want credit for, so then it's energy discussion is whatever kind of comes up that needs to be discussed, it gets discussed. So, hello. It's an intuitive stream. Okay, we talk about whatever comes up. Sometimes it's aliens, sometimes it's tarot, sometimes it's past lives. Okay, Rizwan, please be patient. Because technically, other questions, I'm talking to everyone. Thank you, Gabby and Dreams, for liking the live and interacting. Queen of Wands. Okay, so dream travel destination cosmically or on this planet? Queen of Wands, this is fiery, this is passionate. We know what we want. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We know we want to be in tropical locations. I have a lot of places I'd like to see. Hawaii is gorgeous. I would like to see Europe. I've only been on the North American continent. Okay, well that's bizarre. But, alright. That is bizarre. Alright. 7 of coins. So financial, I can see that. I want to visit Scotland. I do want to visit Scotland. I do want to visit England, Ireland. Alright, fair. Okay, babies. I love you. Please don't be putting your birth dates in the chat. This is a general discussion, but if you're wanting cards, I need you to listen. Okay, babies? So, we have Queen of Wands. So this is that fiery, that passionate. So, for Rizwan, that is actually yours, though, because that's a Sagittarius card. So this is knowing that you've been putting the financial work in and knowing that, first off, it may not be the first avenue that you thought it was that was going to be successful. So I know you've been putting, like, diversifying where you've been putting your stuff, okay? And it's going to pay off, but it's going to pay off from, like, something that you didn't expect. And then they're all going to kind of come together at one point. This is collective energy read, but that definitely feels more for Rizwan. I know I probably said that wrong. And then I will pull a card for you, Kane, just because I know I got kind of snippy. Sometimes, okay, so, you know, I don't really fuck with bugs like that and dangerous creatures. Like, I've come face to face with so many dangerous creatures, unintentionally human and animal, that I don't know if I'd want to mess with Australia because I don't know. Like, the devil's afraid of me, demons are afraid of me. I might just overtake Australia, so that could be a power struggle. That's why Australia is a little weird. Okay, Kane, I'm going to pull this card for you, babe. I have a kitty named Kane. Just Australia has terrifying creatures. So, you know, Kai. Okay. Oh, hello, Kai. Sorry, girl. I could, yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I do have some of my collective. I've met people from Australia in my collective, and I've done work with them. I've worked with people from New Zealand, so I have reached down under, but that sounds so dirty. I have gone down under in this working as well, so you're gonna see me blush. Alright, Kai, so I have Ace of Swords, 5 of Coins, and Page of Wands. Okay, so I know, Kai, you were asking about so making the logical decision. So Kai, I'm sorry, I'm coming back. Making the logical decision about the things that are leaving you feel left out in the cold, and those people that, like, you're chasing them, like, you're like, yeah, this is really fun, but they're not actually helping you grow. So I know you were asking about your exam. It's like needing to make decisions on who to hang out with that's wasting your time and your energy instead of you being able to focus on your study. Does that hopefully make sense, babes? So it's like if you're trying to study for something and that person, every time they call, it's like you go out, you don't actually get home on time, you don't get your studying done. That's like someone trying to kind of keep you trapped up, and I need you to watch for that in your studies. Key. All right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. New Orleans has been all over my map today, Gabby. I mean, it always is. It always has been for like the last 4 years, but especially today, it's been all over my map. So, yeah. Typically, so no, not in these situations. Like what this is a collective. So that collective means it's like you come in and you may resonate with certain parts of it and someone else may resonate with other parts, but that collective, it's like, it's happening to more than one of us. So like, sometimes I do get specific things happening for people in their lives, but for the most part, it's like people come in and they kind of have like the same journey. So we all start realizing like, oh, we're not that far off from each other. We're all kind of going through this. If we can find community among others, then we can fight, right? If you can find community among others that you're going through the same things, then you can actually stand shoulder to shoulder and fight the system. You're not one person going through something, you're 3,000 other people that are going through something and it needs to change. So, yeah. So, and it's a vibe thing, and I channel all kinds of weird things. Like, I was talking to someone today, we were on the phone for 3 hours, and so many points, and my regular collective can speak to this because when we work one-on-one, is I would say something, and she's like, how did you know? Or, I'm looking at this thing right now, or I'm like, I don't know. So sometimes specifics do come through so that you know, like, oh, hey, that's specifically for me. But yeah, we share a brain cell. And I know I have people that can verify that we share a brain cell because I'll say something. They'll be like, I was just thinking that. I'm like, I know. Oh, it's whatever's coming through, babe. Right now what's coming through the collective topic is what a collective is, so that you're educated so you can find your collective. Robin, we're doing collective energy reads. I'll see what comes out. I know fertility, we have a lot of women that are working for fertility. I'm going to ask you the big question that I asked them. Are you eating foods that are your body's having problems processing, like dairy? Clean up your diet if you're having problems with conception. Clean up your environment. That also includes removing abrasive and toxic people. That's the big one. You want to make sure you're bringing a baby into a safe environment. I don't know where that card went to. Temperance on the bottom, patience. So, fasting, yes. You can ask a random question. It depends on if I'll answer it. Also, I want people to start thinking of this. Oh, there's that card I was looking for. 3 of Swords. So there's betrayals. There's things that you're not seeing behind the scenes. Like people intentionally trying to siphon off of your energy. I like to, because a lot of people come in and they're like, is so-and-so coming back to me? And it's like their gym crush that they've known for a minute. And they've already made their wedding date. And I'm like, if you were to actually, and I've had this experience with people channeling archangels. And when I was talking to those archangels through that person channeling, I was asking, like, you ask strategic questions. So sometimes when people come in, they're like, will my gym crush and I be together forever? And I was like, if you were to sit in front of Archangel Michael and have a discussion, is that the question you would ask them? Because if you were given divine knowledge, would you be asking them about that dude that doesn't even wipe his butt properly? Like, don't. So that's, sometimes I do get snarky when people are like, is so-and-so coming back? And I'm like, dude, you've known him 3 minutes. You just smiled at him. That's not, don't be wasting my time like that, because that's bullshit. I just drop everything to channel into that, and that makes me mad. All right. I know, but that's also where we need to realize that we can't be so thirsty for that attention that we poison ourselves in the process. Like, we can't pour love into a bad soil and expect to have a good yield. Okay. Ivan, how many kitties do you have? And yes, they're going to live long, healthy lives. King of Cups, 10 of Coins, because, okay, so you are tapped into the emotions of realizing that your cats are your ancestors, right? They help unlock different emotions in you, and that is 10 of Coins. It's like, once you realize the emotional fulfillment and stability, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, I don't know if that resonates for your birthday, but this is realizing the things that you love and you make happy and make you happy that fill your emotional cup, they're going to also fill your bank account with 10 of Coins. Okay? So when you nurture, so Jayana, I need you to listen to that too. It's like there is someone that has emotions and it will be a successful union, whether that's with Tyree or not. I don't know. You're going to have to put that where it fits. But I was doing a collective energy read. So yeah, but realizing your emotions, your cup, your experience is important. That is your moneymaker. That is your financial success, right? So speak on the thing. Do the weird thing. Please, can we say that? Do the freaking weird thing that makes you happy. If you love to splash in puddles, do the weird thing. And don't care who's looking. And, like, you gotta stop living for other people. You have to fill your cup because, again, that's how you're going to fill your cup, your success long term, right? So, Jay, will your cats live a long, healthy life? Yes, because they bring you joy. And things that bring you joy fill your bank, okay? And Jayana, also with that, though, is like when you're bringing in that, like, how do they feel about you? Make sure that you're approaching it with mature, like, this is someone that I want to spend forever with, right? Like, this is someone I want to invest and build with. So being healed on your side, okay? That's the other part. We all say we want a divine counterpart, but if we're unhealed, we're unchecked, we're only going to ruin a divine counterpart. What I'm feeling, we were asking general collective, but that was the question, how you felt. It's like, yes, he has feelings for you. He wants success, okay? Watch out for jealousy. Watch out for jealousy. If you want to know deeper, that's booking one-on-one. Okay? Because I've already wasted too much time on that. Just... I am cranky right now. Not cranky, just... I feel like no nonsense right now, like very teacher-like, like, stop playing around. Come to your lessons. Learn the hard shit. Stop. Okay, you know what, to be fair, I've been dealing with a lot of younger, energetic, feminine in both air and fire sign. So I've had to do a lot of, like, stop being so hard-headed. Stop touching the stove. You know the stove's hot. All day. And that's said out of love. Like, that's my own frustration within myself from not learning that the stove is hot and having to keep touching it. Like, I know. You know what? And sometimes I love to, like, flip my hair too, just because it's like that wink. It's like that wink of, like, who me? Like, I know exactly where this, I know where it's coming from. This is part of my collective too, part of my mentorship. But I'm also over here like, stop being me for a minute. Just learn from my experience. Like, stop it. But you know I'm hard-headed. Yeah, I'm trying to save you from putting the same skin in the game that I put in the skin, like, in the game. Like, I'm trying to save you from some of that road rash that you're about to get. Like, stop it. I have that conversation too. You know, because, like, older women, we get that, like, oh, she's bitter, she's angry. No, we're just trying to save those young girls from being taken advantage of by older men. Like, we're not bitter, we're just trying to save her from, you know, getting shackled down with a 40-year-old and being his hospice wife. Like, I started hearing that term, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, these older men are marrying hospice wives because they want that wife that's young that can take care of them financially, emotionally, mentally, energetically, because he was too busy out playing the streets when he was young and not actually settling down, not actually being a good dude. And now that he's old and needs someone, now he's, marrying. So, let's not have that in our younger generations. Let's stop that pattern, right? Yeah, we are all moving that energy. Yeah. Okay. 8 of Swords, 3 of Wands. So, rising above, getting out of our head. Rising above, getting out of our head. Here's what I love about radical acceptance. You'll start getting the point where you just, like, start radically accepting shit. You'll be like, you know what, it is what it is. Like, there's nothing we can do. And you move on. And there's so much freedom in that. You'll have held on to this stinking pain for so many years. You'll be like, 5 years I've carried this slight within me, this pain. I've been letting it keep me stuck. And then once you finally let it go, you're like, you know what, it's not that deep. Or they aren't even worthy, like they wouldn't even know that what they did hurt me. Yes, I love that, Gabby, and I've definitely been trying to help you on that path as we've come along, is just like letting it go. Because once you do, you're like, it's like, okay, here's a beautiful example, like removing things, Ivan. So what I talk about a lot is removing things from our existence, like people, places, things that no longer fit in our lives. So purging, like releasing it, being like, you know what, I no longer wear these outfits, I need to donate them. Okay, so in Presley, we're doing collective energy reads. We're just kind of chit-chatting. Please don't come in and spam, because that's not good. So when we release things that are no longer for us, so imagine like, okay, and Gabby, I know I'm hella guilty of this. I know everybody in here is guilty of this. You know, when you move, it's like you move stuff that you haven't used in years, and you like keep moving it from house to house, and then one year you finally decide that you're going to donate it, or you're like, I'm just getting rid of this, and you just feel this weight. Like, you don't even open the box, you don't even sort through it, you just say, why did I carry this around for 20 years? So, and that, I know I got on you about that the other day, Gabby. I know I did. I got on a bunch of cancers, because it wasn't just you, it was like a collective water sign energy, where I'm like, you have to stop being emotional hoarders. You can't fix every broken car, right? Like, you can't fix every broken toy car. So I need you to just stop radically being sentimental like that. Be like, you know what? Because at the end of the day, like, say you kept a box of mementos, right? If it's been in the shed for 3 years, why have you been carrying it around from house to house to house? It's just a remnant of people, places, things that you no longer are truly identifying with. So that's that part of it too, is just realizing, you know what? I want to hold on to this, but for what? What true purpose does it have? Like, it isn't bringing you joy. It isn't bringing you, fulfillment, money, none of that. Why do we keep holding on to it? So I know I've been on you with that message about releasing, but that's that point, is I'm trying to help you come through that. Yeah, and you know what? That's, remember how we said, when you release, and Ivan will get into it. I may have to get up for a minute. We'll see. I may have to get up in a minute, but we'll talk about it. Remember how I said, when you release that, they're going to try and reconnect really fast. And if you just straight out, like you did, and I talked to you about that too, is just blocking it. Be like, I realize that that's just them trying to re-energetically. And also, the faster you purge it, the faster you release it, right? And the faster you block those attempts for them to reconnect, the faster you actually get along on your path. So I know I give some really harsh advice sometimes on cutoff game, ghosting people, all that, but it's because it's like the sooner you can recognize the pattern, call it out, move on without making a big fuss on it. Because I also talk about that too. Is like, don't make a big fuss about shit, because it's like, get away to safety. By the time they realize you're gone, you're already like 2 months down the road. So I know, especially my water sign babies, but I can fix them. Nope, you gotta let them go. They can be let go and let God. Let someone else handle that baby, like that baby man. Okay, Virgos. What do you want to know about Virgos, Ivan? You have to be more Pacific. And are you a September Virgo or an August Virgo? There is a difference. Okay. Where do you fall? Are you kind of, I feel, did you say you were the 19th? What do you want to know about Virgos, babe? Let's start there. And then we'll... Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh. What do you want to know about Virgos? Okay. I don't know about the year per se. So, okay. It's gonna be hectic. But it's needed hectic. Like, you guys, okay, so here's the thing with Virgos. You guys are, and I say this because my brothers were Virgos, and they're very comfortable not having to move until it's absolutely freaking necessary. So, like, an example of this is my mom was way overdue with my brothers. Like, my one brother, she was over a month late with him. And it's like you guys get so comfortably entrenched in places that in order to move, it literally has to be like you have to be held your feet to the fire and moved. And right now, and I say all that to say this, okay? This year, we're going to see a lot of structures fall. And the earth signs are going to lose their mind, okay? Because they like stability. They like that dependability. And earth signs, like, you're going to have to learn a lot of with earth signs is that it's not necessarily about the financial stability. It's like, what do you do with those resources or assets that you have? I foresee a lot of, like, the rest of the year kind of going is that we're going to have to learn how to collaborate, become a community, bartering. So I think with earth signs, like earth signs especially, want to be that financial stability. And a lot of how the world is right now with everything that's going on with the disasters, with the political scene, it's like Virgo's going to have to be really comfortable with the unknown financially, but learning how to utilize your assets that you do have and work in a community status. Because a lot of what my brothers would say is, what's in it for me? And now a lot of Virgo's going to have to say is like, okay, I have resources. How can we come together as a team and like make this work? So a lot of it is going to be a lot more about flexibility with Virgo. Like, okay, let me know how that resonates. And it's going to be hectic and chill for a lot of people, but this is also where I say tap into, if you feel panicked, you need to calm down. That's the whole stage is being reset. On an earth level, on a political level, on a interdimensional level. So we're all going to have to get really cool with a lot of weird things and a lot of scary, chaotic things real fast so that we can make it through. It's that, how do you calm yourself to be able to get the information that you're getting? And it's like ETs. I was talking with a man who is very science-brained, which is challenged because, like, I do have a lot of science brain. I also have a lot of sci-fi brain. And they're like, well, why wouldn't aliens, like, obviously aliens, if they were real, they could take us over. They blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, first off, it depends on what they're here for. Second off, aliens before recently, with AI, with everything that's going on, it's kind of gotten a lot more flexible. But the average American would see an alien and, freak out. That's why they can't come out, because it's that whole, like, if everybody were to get scared and then try to cause harm, why would they reveal themselves? So that's why I also say a lot of people are going to have to become really cool really fast with a lot of weird things, because there's a lot of things that we don't know. So I understand that. Ivan, like I say, I'm huge science brain. Like, I'm huge academia brain, right? Like, I love talking about the weird stuff. I love talking about everything. I love a little bit of everything. With science, though, because I'm more science than I was never religion. I am spirituality. And when people say, well, you can't prove religion, well, there are so many things in this world we haven't discovered yet. And science, like, spirituality is science that just doesn't have the proof yet. Because whenever you talk to someone and they talk about a spiritual experience, it's very hard to put it into words, because it's not something that, like, our human brain has seen or conceived. So when we try to relay it to someone else, because no one else has really seen it, although they have, they come out thinking like, oh, that was a weird experience. Except for now you can start realizing that there are actual truths to what spirituality is saying. Like, there are actual scientific backed. It's just science is slow because it's man. And whenever they have really cool, groundbreaking things in science, like that scientist disappears, like cure for cancer disappears. Not coincidental by the government, but there's bigger things at play there. And I know that was a lot. I'm very conspiracy theorist. I always say theorist, but theorist. And I love to say that too, is that, like, people calling you crazy or a conspiracy theorist, it just means that you saw the proof too early. Like, you're never crazy. You just saw behind the veil, like that curtain, the Wizard of Oz curtain, you just saw behind the curtain before they were ready for you to see it. So I'm kind of sad because there was a guy that I wanted to partner with that he was science, like he was a... It wasn't astrophysics. He was into science, and like he was looking for spiritual collaborations, and I was trying to get on board with that. He was actually branching out here, and I was like, I have so much that I work with sound and with everything, that I would love to be able to collaborate with science to show that no, he wasn't an astronomer. No, he was like an actual... It was weird. There was a weird, like, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, because he was faculty at the university that my best friend's husband went to forever for math. Yeah, he was a math and science guy, but I wanted to collaborate with him because, like I say, I wanted to show the interconnection between sound and fields and all kinds of jazz, because I have a lot of spiritual stories that I can talk about. I have a lot of interdimensional stories I can talk about. Yeah. Astral travel, I do it. Talk to ghosts, I do it. Yeah. Alright, well, that was... Anybody have any questions other than that, since I'm just kind of chatting? And yeah, thank you for showing up. Guys. I know I've been absent, like I say, the last few days. I've been going through it. Oh, okay. Can we actually... So I want to talk about a spiritual experience. I'm going to leave... tons. Okay, so Gabby, I'm gonna go take a walk for a minute. I'm gonna put everybody on mute. I'm gonna take a walk for a minute. Gabby, just let Ivan know, I guess, my experience on emotions, because how much do I come out on that? And then I want to talk about a spiritual experience and how it ties to my work experience and how it all becomes really freaking weird, because I've got some quantum entanglement maybe I want to talk about. But I have to go take a walk for a minute. So I talk about emotions all the time. all the freaking time. And that's something I really talk about, like, when we come to work together. It's how are we somatically healing our body, because it's our body that's holding on to that energetic vibration and keeping us stuck in patterns. So when you heal your emotions, when you feel your emotions, you heal your emotions, and that gets you out of karmic patterns. So anyway, I'll be RB. Oh, that isn't what I wanted. Give me a minute. Okay. Okay, I'm back. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk about this spiritual experience I had, and it overlays into a life experience I had within my work environment, and why somatic healing is super weird, why my path is super weird. So, my ex and I were fighting in turmoil and emotions, right? So we were fighting turmoil emotions. Something happened where it felt, and this was, I call it like a soul split or a soul shock. It's like when something happens that it traumatizes you. It's like you fractal a part of yourself. So we were in a hotel, and he turned on the water faucet while I was in the shower, and it actually like hit me in the chest, and it felt like I had actually been pewed in the chest by like a shotgun barrel. And ironically, and I felt it, but not like I didn't feel pain, but I felt like that emotional like impact of it. When I was an x-ray student, because I was raised in like a quiet-ish kind of sleepy little town. There's more that we can talk about all that. It's a weird town, but so I was completely oblivious. Well, I worked at the hospital that I trained in was level 1 trauma. We handled a lot of neuro cases from all over the country. We had ICU, all that jazz, but it was in a very bad part of town. And was an x-ray student, and I went to go take a picture of this woman in the x-ray in the ER, and she didn't tell me she had actually been shot in the chest like that. So it was weird that I had experienced that, because I had experienced that like back in 2008, and this experience in the hotel I experienced in 22. So it was weird because it was like I had actually seen x-ray wise what that damage, what that injury looked like. It was so, she was like so non-fuss, like I took her chest x-ray and I was like, what is all in your chest? She's like, oh, I was shot with a buckshot. I was shot in a buckshot. And she's like, I'm lucky I lived. And she's just toughest freaking lady. But it was one of those experiences. And then to actually, like I say, in 22 have that experience spiritually where traumatic experience. It was like, I felt like because of seeing it radiographically and then experiencing it, it was just quite a situation. So that's also where we've lived all these lives, right? We've lived all these experiences. So then just tapping into what happened, you know, and that actually, so that experience in that hotel opened a very scary door. Very scary just because I didn't know what was on the other side. And on the other side of that was learning about past lives, like taking a way deep dive into past lives. So all these experiences, if we're willing to see the bigger picture, right, then we unlock so many more. Because I actually did have someone ask me about today past life work. They're like, how did you unlock past life stuff? I'm like, it's all been by accident, but it's all been like, it was time for me to learn, because that unlocked my lifetime in Louisiana, in New Orleans. So when that incident happened in that hotel room, that unlocked my Louisiana lifetime. That was my most recent one. I'm going to tell you this, my ex is still pissed off at me for that lifetime that we had in 1955 Louisiana. So if you don't think you come here to learn lessons and where people don't hold grudges, you're wrong, and you'll meet them again in this lifetime. So because I think I prematurely exited that lifetime, and he wasn't done with that. So but those are the things we have to learn and able to not keep coming back. Like this whole spiritual trap of you can keep sinning and then say you're sorry and then you won't have to do anything more with it. No, you're going to pay it in this lifetime or next. So how soon do you want to get out of that path? Okay. Matilda, we're doing collective energy reads. Apparently it's coming through as like heavy with karmic. What lessons from your past you need to be learning to be able to unlock your happiness with 10 of Cups. What keeps coming back? And this was something I said earlier. What's like that hard decision that you don't want to make that you know you do? Because I guarantee you once you do it, you're going to be like, oh my God, why did I wait? Why did I wait so long to make this decision? Right? Like, you know, when you do something, you finally do it, and you're like, God, why did I wait so long? Like, it was so easy, or it was so beneficial, or it was so XYZ. Like, how many of those hard decisions in your life have you gone, okay, so, Joelle, here's what you're missing in your life right now, and Matilda, I'm going to say it's kind of that same vibration, okay, is what decision do you not want to make that you know you have to make for your betterment? Okay? It's the thing you don't want to do that is what you need to do the most. So, also, this is forgiveness letters. This is homework, if anybody's in for homework right now, because, write forgiveness letters. Or write angst letter. It don't matter. Like, write those letters to people. Like, if you wanted someone to apologize to you, write to them what you think their apology would look like and then release it. Or write that angry letter. Like, I was watching a reel earlier, and she's like, my stupid, she's like, dear so-and-so. She was writing a letter to her ex-husband. She was still very angry, but like, she's like, my therapist told me I had to write this, and I think it's stupid. And that's the whole point. The things that you think are stupid are the things that you need to do. Because that's like the homework you don't want to do, right? But you have to do it to get to the next level. So do the thing that you don't want to do. Do the scary thing. Do the weird thing, too. Like, and I love this because, Gabby, you can speak on this with me, right? Is that as far as recording, it's literally you just have to do it. Like, here's what I learned about doing videos on TikTok. Like, it was so scary. Like, what if people don't like me? What if this? What if that? What if it's not perfect? No, you just have to do it. It literally comes from just doing it. Being not afraid. Like, because here's the part of it. You're going to come across people that don't like you, and you're going to come across people that love you. But unless you actually do it, no one's going to find you. Right? So that's like content. When I especially boys come to me and they talk about wanting to do videos, or they talk about wanting to put their talent out there, or they talk about wanting to express themselves. I'm like, you have to stop thinking it's going to be perfect and just freaking do it. Because if you wait for it to be perfect, it's never going to happen. So stop being a perfectionist and just do the thing. And people honestly show up when you're authentic, not when you're trying so hard. Like, people love you the most when you're like everyday relatable, right? Like, if you show up and you're like, oh, I'm just like you. Yeah, no, they actually like that. Elkie, so we're doing collective energy reads. What I see, Ace of Wands, it feels in reverse. It feels like you're going to be stuck, like you're going to feel stifled. Like you're in environments where you don't feel safe to express your full passion. Okay? So make sure that you're creating that outlet in other ways. Writing, dancing, singing. If you don't feel safe to be yourself in your new school, make sure you at least are holding space to express that outside of school, because it feels like it's gonna cramp on your passion or your inspiration, and please don't do that. Don't let other people dim your shine because they can't sparkle. I love this. Okay, so just life experience, right? I was always kind of younger in the field that I chose, right? Like, I was one of the younger ones when I was first a student. I was 25. And the older techs, and they were all older techs because they all got into the field and then didn't leave, right? And they would all be so set in their ways. Like, you have to do it this way. You have to do it this way. You have to do it this way. And here's what I learned from it. I'm like, I would do it the way that they showed me how to do it. And then when I was with the next person, I would do the way that they showed me how to do it. And then I would find my own style in between the two that was happy for me. So also when we're in new environments, taking the lessons that we're being taught and then not saying, oh, it's complete garbage, but taking the lessons that actually fit for you. So we can go into an environment and not love it, yet still learn a lot about it and a lot about life. So, yeah. I'm full of it. It's like I should get paid or something. Handsomely. Oh, gosh. Okay, King of Wands. So, King of Wands. Yeah. So, it's not... Baby, if it makes you feel stuck and angry already and you have a choice to move directions, do it now before you get stuck in it, okay? So, King of Wands this is that energy. It is kind of rhetorical, but Elkie, if it fits or if it fits for anybody, please comment on that. King of Wands, it's like you have somebody that's trying to push their passions on you. It's like what they want you to be, what they want your job to be, what they want your education to be, and saying, no, that's your dream. Like, you probably toured the place and you're like, oh, my so-and-so would love this, and realizing that that's their dream. If they wanted that, they should have lived it, okay? You have to live your best dream. With High Priestess, this is that tapped in, tuned in, you know what you want. So stop allowing other people to gaslight you with your intuition. Huge on that. Stop allowing other people to gaslight you into their dreams. You know what you want, right? You know what's going to fill your cup and allow for you to sit back and feel like you are sitting in your intuition. 3 of Pentacles, this is that whatever decisions we're making is leaving us feel disempowered. Like, again, remember how I said earlier, Gabby, with this as well, is that we're sowing into so-and-so's dream. Well, where is that return into your dream, right? So realizing that, yeah, that's cool that you want me to spend my coin on your dream, but what about me? Okay, and that's not selfish. It is not selfish to ask for your needs to be met. Last I checked, this was supposed to be a partnership, not a dictatorship. So if someone's trying to impose like what they want, where is your say in it? So stop allowing them to also say how you need to spend your finances, how you need to spend your energy, because you know intuitively what it is that you want, what you need. And also, less is more. Like, I know this is a big claim, but I actually was happier and happiest in my marriage and more in love with my husband when we were in those broke days and we were side by side hustling it out together. Like, those were the best days. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not romanticizing, but it was one of those that was like in it together. So realizing that if you're building with someone who is building with someone else or somewhere else, or they're trying to live out their fantasy, if it's robbing you, you need to let it go. Okay? 9 of Swords, getting out of your head, finally saying, no, I see that they just want to come up off of me, and I'm no longer going to sit in this, right? We're not, because I'm wasting my time, my energy on things that don't need to be spent on. Hold on one moment. Okay, eating bubbles. So that almost actually sounds like a lower entity trying to come in on that. I know I paused, but that sounds... I would make sure you are energetically gridding and protecting your house, babes. Because it does feel like somebody is trying to energy crowd you, and you need to be calling that back, like putting up your boundaries. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute, too. I'm going to talk... Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Love those cards. Gonna take a drink. We'll talk about it. And then we'll talk about an energy practice to help grid, shield your house you can do. Okay? So Queen of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So I love it. It comes out. This is that counterpart to the King of Wands. But this is saying, no, I get what I want, or I don't. I don't. Like, I get what I want, or I'm going to walk. So you're saying... As much as you want to be fiery in the peacock, I am very much in my love energy. I get what I want. Gabby, since we both have a connection to Hawaii, but since you have such a connection to Hawaii, this just every time I see Queen of Wands, I feel that come out with you. So this is that you get to have that dream vacation, that dream life, that whatever, because you fought for it. You've stood up for it. Okay, so again, talking about, and it's come out multiple times, but Ace of Swords, right? We love this. This is saying, yeah, this is not fun, and I don't love it, but I know it's logical, and I have to do it. So making that head over heart and be like, no, we're not doing this. And then it brings in that 2 of Cups. So that union, that love, and that's the truth of anything. Whenever we talk about relationships, I always say, I'm like, there should only be 3 people in your relationship. You, your partner, and the divine. Or you, your partner, your therapist. Your mama shouldn't know about it. Your auntie shouldn't know about it. Like, there should only truly be, in a partnership, 2 cups. You and your spouse. Because at the end of the day, like, you know how I always say, okay, so I talk about this all the time, like, you have yourself 100% your hardest days, right? You need to make sure that you are with the partner that also has you 100% your hardest days, and vice versa. You can't do that if you have multiple other people that have a say in your relationship. So when it's talking about relationships, unions, I always tell people, I'm like, it's you and your partner's happiness. Right? You need to make sure that you are picking that partner that truly has your cup, that has your passion, your love in mind, but knowing that your partner is going to have you. So making sure that you don't have anyone else with you. Like, I guess where I was also going with the struggle day stories, it literally was my ex and I against the world. Like, we definitely didn't help from my parents. We didn't have help from his parents. It literally was like, I've got you, you've got me. That's it. And that's really how relationships should, like, we don't need everybody and their brother in our unions. Okay, so let's talk about energetic shielding and or how to throw up, like, kind of a Reiki energetic shield. So I always tell people, if you feel like you have heavy stuff in your house, because Reiki is universal energy flow, right? It's the universe giving us free energy. Think of it as like Wi-Fi, right? So you can conduit, you can channel universal energy for healing. So I love to use this in so many ways all day long, every day, to help everyone else. So once you learn it, you can do it too. So Reiki, it's that intention, right? We're going to intend that we are drawing energy from the universe to assist us in our healing. We're using it to assist us with our animals. We're using it to assist us with our children. And then energy that comes off of it. And you know how I always say, I'm like, when you don't exhale, when you don't let go of your worries, you're being selfish, right? The trees depend on you to exhale the carbon dioxide to live. So stop holding your breath. You're being selfish, right? We're tree food for everyone. So also with Reiki, it's not like you're putting a burden on the earth. The earth is here as a huge conductor, as a huge battery, right, to help us with the stimulus within our own system. So if you were to go into the heaviest part of your house, I would say kind of like the center of your house, right? And imagine like you were channeling that beautiful golden earth energy up through the center of your chest, and it radiates out in all directions to create like a force field that goes out from you throughout your house and around it to protect you and your domain and your loved ones. So these are all practices that you can do yourself, right? Reiki it can be a group project. It can be a singular. Like I do Reiki all the time for people. I do Reiki for the earth all the time for myself. But it literally is something that you can do as your own intention. So what I love about Reiki as well, right? That's how we can do past life regressions, past life unlocks is through Reiki. Because it's tapping into that energetic kind of frame, kind of going and healing it, paying attention to it, releasing it, and letting it go. So we're giving that pain that we used to carry to the universe, right? I said a lot. Does anybody have questions about Reiki? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Are you like, what is Reiki? It's universal energy. Like, it's universal energy. And it's there for us to utilize. So start utilizing it. Yeah. Double on the bottom. They don't want you to know that you can heal yourself for free. So it depends on what you need healing with. I'm going to give you... It depends on what you need healing on. A lot of us need healing with our intuition, especially, and our cognition. So let me grab 2 of those stones. Let me change the lighting really quick. Okay. There we go. There. Okay. And it goes on color too. So sometimes it's not necessarily about a specific stone, but it's like if you're trying to heal a specific chakra, that color is of benefit in utilization. It's also using the mental intention behind it. Where are all of my... Hold on. Which I'm going to have to hop out pretty soon because I'm going to have to take the dog out pretty soon. Before it gets dark out there. Okay. All right. So, I love... Okay, so for Moonstone, and you can purchase these in so many different forms. I love moonstone rings, and you can actually buy them in like actual gemstone rings. I break them all the time because this is with your intuition, like your actual spiritual eye intuition. So moonstone is good for opening like your clairs, like your claircognizance. Like if you feel like you're not able to hear all the messages, moonstone. And like with this one with a sphere, and it has kind of like it reminds me a lot of like a fire opal in this form. Like it's got that red kind of orangish glow. I like with the sphere with this one. And like I say, this is very much for opening your spiritual senses. So moonstone is good for spiritual senses. If you feel like you need to sharpen your cognizance, your claircognizance, your spiritual eyes, your spiritual hearing, your spiritual smell. I don't know if you've experienced spiritual smell before. It's quite a thing. Your clairsentience, just that knowing without actual knowing. These are all different senses that we have. Like we all say, oh, we have 5 senses. No, you actually have way more than that. I think you have like 9, at least 9 senses, including your spiritual senses. And that's not all of them because we don't talk about all the spiritual senses, but okay, I know I said a lot. Okay, so this is, like I say, moonstone, fire opal. That's good for intuition. opening those clairsenses. I know I keep saying all that, but we need to be paying attention to that intuition that our body is trying to teach us from the subtle body. Like, think of your clairsenses. That's when, like, you're somewhere and the hair stands up. That's your clairsenses. Like, that's clairsentience. Like, you know, if you have, like, a split second to move, it's like you'll be like, oh, that's your radar system trying to tell you to move. So I love with the sphere, I love to kind of rub it on my actual third eye to help awaken that. It does vivid dreams. And like I say, I like to wear them as the actual gemstone ring because it does provide a lot of clarity. And they break easily, so don't ever be sad when a gemstone breaks. You just gotta say, okay, it's time for that to either find a new purpose or for me to release it because it served its purpose. People bring, like, or they talk about broken jewelry all the time. I'm like, if that jewelry broke, that meant, or if it was misplaced or you lost it, that meant it served its purpose and now it's time for you to release it so you can bring in new things. And Gabby, I'm actually going to talk about that a lot because remember how you and I talk about, like, you have to clear that space to open in for new. So even with crystals, even with objects, it's like if we want a new clock, we can't keep holding on to the broken cuckoo clock that we've had in the family for 55 years that nobody actually, like, it's not worth anything. So starting to say, if I want the actual upgrade, I have to be willing to let go of that which has served its purpose. Yeah, that was a lot to say. But okay, amethyst is another one. So this is crown chakra. Like, this is the knowing. So there's clairsentiences, right? That's like the sensual. That's the other. When you start playing with your senses in a sensual way, like enjoying milk and honey baths, that's a beautiful experience of heightening your clairsentience or clear senses with, like, a pleasureful way. Is like, how are you playing with those scents in that way? Amethyst is the knowing. So we have the clairsentience, the perception. The amethyst with crown is the knowing, that spiritual knowledge. So being tuned to, so amethyst can be beneficial for the actual tying all the little pieces together. So amethyst for knowing, that's your crown chakra. I know you love purple. I know we're attached to purple. I'm actually going to set you on a path that I sent one of the other collective members down. I want you to start keeping an eye out for Saint Germain. I'm saying it wrong. Saint Germain. I keep saying it wrong, but he's alchemization. He's lavender, the lavender flame. And a lot of us feminines are coming on board with the lavender flame. All right. So Saint Germain, and he's the alchemical property of the lavender flame. So it's that divine knowledge of transmutation and realizing the bigger picture, like the unity consciousness versus duality and divinity, division consciousness. So that's that path I would set you down, is your next ascended master to keep an eye out, or that's going to come up on your radar, is Saint Germain. And Mary Magdalene, I feel like she's going to start haunting you more. And not just from me sending you the feedback, but they kind of, when I suggested that to that collective member, she's like, something came on board real hard when you told me those two names, and she did a meditation with them, and nice. Okay. I happen to love lavender. Okay. You know what, girl? Tell me when you've got some ink on you, and we'll talk about it. Okay, I'm going to talk about this one last one, and then I'm going to hop out. Because I got creatures to see and phones to charge and kids to pick up from work today. Alright, so red carnelian. This is your sacral energy. I know I talk about sacral all the time, but we're coming back. Yes, I love everything hearts. Love everything hearts. That was my first, that was my first sign from the universe. when I was feeling down and I was having a hard time, it was hearts. The universe bombarded me with hearts. So I always know when I see hearts. And ironically, like my neighborhood that I moved out of, that my ex lives in, there were hearts. Like it was a new neighborhood, new build, and there were hearts all in the, because we share half a brain cell, babe. That's why we have similar likes, Gabby, because we share half a brain cell. And Debbie, so we did not find each other by coincidence, ladies. I need you to start putting real stock on that, okay? And Melly, welcome to the club. Yes, and okay, so if you actually look at this one, we could look at this one all day. There's like hearts all over this heart. That's what I love too, is finding the hearts. And you know what I hate about people that can't see the thing? They'll be like, I don't see a heart. And it's like sometimes you have to imagine the actual full border of the heart. But if you see the heart, you know that there's love. So when I was on this spiritual journey, and there were days that I would be like, just absolute want to quit, call to God, get down on my, be done. And walking the neighborhood and seeing hearts, like even in my ex's neighborhood where there was so much pain and hurt and hate for me, it was that I saw hearts everywhere, and I knew that my path was lined in love and that there was going to be love after all of this. Yep. I love it. I'm always going to be about rocks and hearts and love and all that jazz. So red carnelian, this is tapping into your sacred sexual energy, your sacral energy. So red carnelians for self-empowerment and your creativity. You want to start healing your rage, work on your creativity. And I don't mean be perfected at working on your creativity. Just sit down and do it just for funsies. Not because you're following, like if you're a musician, I don't want you following a score. I want you making up your own beats. Start making up your own lyrics. Start making up your own rhymes. Start doing your own poems. Like create. And I don't care if it's good. Just fucking create, please. And I know I'm dropping bombs, but okay, so the devil's a liar. Let's talk about this. The devil's a liar, right? He's going to keep you stuck, stagnant, and Four of Wands, your happiness. So you need to start like when the devil whispers in your ear fear, you need to tell it to fuck all the way off, because your happiness is on the other side of that addiction. It's on the other side of that fear. It's on the other side of that perfectionism, whatever. Okay? So stop listening to the past chains and fears. Okay? And if I showed you guys, I have so many pictures of freaking hearts everywhere, all over the place. I'm going to talk about this one, just kind of clean it up. What I love to do, and I need to refill that. I love to keep a bag with like a bunch of different crystals in my purse. Nice. Good. I like to keep a bunch of crystals in my purse, and I like to hand them out when I go various places. Like if I'm feeling really icky, I'll hand them out. Not as but as a way of like bringing joy. When I'm feeling sad, I like to bring joy to other people. So a fun story for me, I'll go to fast food places and I will give them rocks, which they love them at fast food places, right? Like, because they don't ever get treated nice. They don't really get a lot of joy like that. So I love giving little gifts of spirituality when I go to fast food places. It always works out for me though, because I always end up finding like an actual heart in my food. Like I've had that where I'll go to McDonald's and I'll give out crystals because I'm feeling sad in the drive-thru, and then I'll go home and on the bottom of my bun will be a heart shaped in the bun. So knowing that as we give love, even if we don't feel like we have it to give, we are reminded of the love. Okay. This also, I can't even tell you how many times we've gone to fast food places and then I will give crystals, and then the next time I go through, they'll remember me and I'll get a discount, or they'll hook me up. Like, that's the thing, is like being kind is inexpensive and or cheap. Like, life is so scary. Spread love everywhere that you can. Like, be kind to people just to be kind, because we all need it. Like, you don't know who you save, just by smiling at people. Like, you really don't know. And even your haters, you actually inspire them to get out of bed every day and show up. So bravo to you. If you have people that don't like you, congratulations, you're doing something right. But also, if you have people that don't like you, you are also inspiring them to get up and do something with their life. So bravo, you're keeping people alive by being you. Okay? All right, my guys. I know it's been a hot mess kind of all over the place, but isn't that my life, right? I actually love not just talking straight about tarot. I love talking about all kinds of different things because I do more than just tarot. I have a lot. I have a lot to teach. I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to, anyway. Yeah. And I freaking love interaction. Like, I really do get mad. Like, I'm not, no shade, no lie, but I really do get mad when people come in. It's like, is so-and-so coming back to me? And I'm like, we've got much bigger problems going on than if so-and-so is coming back to you. Like, people are getting pulled up off the streets. Children are being separated. Like, and I get it as well. It's just, I don't know. Like, trying to tell people, like, hey, the train's coming. You might want to get off the tracks, and they just party along. And you're like, that's, okay, do you. I can't save you. Good day. You knew what you signed up for. Okay. All right, I'm Lara Jo, Siren Song Lover. To tip your favorite tarot reader, which is greatly needed, or favorite energy reader. Yeah. And I love it. Okay, so I wasn't raised around trains. I love trains. They actually bring me comfort. The place where I live, where we moved to, we have trains in this town. And the place where I live, I have a track right there. For me, I always think if the grid were to go down, trains will still be able to keep running because those can still be run off of like locomotive energy versus technology. So I look at like the bigger picture of if the planes were to go down and electronics, maybe at least trains, we can still keep the lines running. So I love trains. It's weird. Life's weird. All right, my friends. The apartment, okay, so where we moved to, first off, when we first moved here, we lived in a cotton mill. Our apartment was a cotton mill, and the energy in there was bananas. And honestly, a lot of negativity came in when we moved into that place and whatever. There was a train that was right behind, like, and the windows were so thin. You could hear everything. Every night that train would go off, it was so fucking loud. And the train conductor would get mad and blow the horn in the middle of the night. Really loud. And I thought it was funny because I'm definitely one of those, like, if you're going to be a dick to me, I'm going to be a dick in the worst of ways. So if I were upset with a town and they were being, I would probably do the same thing. Be like, I had to do this because it's my job, but since you guys were such jerks about it, I'm going to, make you wish you had been a little bit kinder. I like trains. Like I say, it's comforting to me for whatever reason, even though I wasn't raised around them. Anyway, okay, so to financially support your favorite energetic reader, Siren Song Lover Cash App, which is Siren capital S, Song capital S, Lover capital L. Financials is greatly needed and appreciated, greatly needed. To book a service, Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/Siren Song Lover. And I'll catch you later. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging.